Well, hello and welcome back, guys. I know I've been off for a week here. I had a pretty rough going for a little bit, and I must admit I took a little siesta from the updating, but we are going to get back into it, and we're going to talk about some things. So last time I did an update was on Friday, and I had talked about how we'd lost a lot of the valuation of our funded account, and we were trying to salvage it, so we were going to change our strategy to be a bit more conservative. Unfortunately, I got on Sunday night, and I'm going to show you guys those trades here. Um, but what happened was I took two trades and they both failed, and that is not what I was hoping for because I recognized right away that I basically was within $500, excuse me, $500 of blowing my account. And one thing we talked about earlier on was how this account has a lot of value to me. Um, I worked hard to get this account. What day is this? Oh man. And the one issue, or the one thing I didn't want to do is blow this account because I paid a lot of money for it in my world right now. Anyway, it's a lot of money that I really don't have to spend. And so I have to take it very seriously when I'm looking at this count and the value of it. It has a lot of value to me. So what I decided to do after my blown trades, what day is this? It's not showing me the days for some reason. Let me see if I can find my trades. Well, that wasn't the right day. Oh, there, I saw it said May 25th. Bear with me just a second, guys. I think I'm going to have to load some extra data to show you guys my trades. Because I think the 25th was on Monday, and I need to be able to see the 24th. If I'm correct, let's see. No, that's not it. That was a little. Oh, you guys can't see anything. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at here. So yeah, we need to be able to see the 24th. So we need to load an extra day in. So we're going to put 6 days here. Okay, now let's zoom all the way back. Okay, so this would be my first day, right? When did I take those trades? Hmm, yeah, it's not loading the trades up. Okay, let's see. Oh, did it show it? Well, let's see. I was hoping to show you guys the trades I took. I can't see them now. That's a lot of fun. It's not reloading those. Okay, so let's look at the 25th. can't see anything. I didn't take it in the morning, and I did not trade during the day because I blew up so much of my money. So, oh, I know why. I'm on the wrong damn one. Now let's look at it. Here's the issue is I was on the wrong one. Here we go. So this is what we had. We had a pull up. We had a new high. We came down. We made a nice green here, and I got in there, and it just failed on me. So then what did we do? We had another pull up here. I liked this for a continuation. I got in here. It came in, ticked me out, and would have gone my way. Super frustrating. I can say this was a decent trade right here. It just didn't work, and I took a full loss on it. But then it came up, made a new high, came down. I really shouldn't have taken this trade at all, although you can see it would have worked if I would zoom in here. The reason we couldn't see it before is because of one of the adjustments I've made. So you can see I brought my stop up and I put it right there. What did it do, dude? It just ticked me out. Came up, ticked me out, and went my way. And it would have filled. This is my valuation. This is what I'm looking for my trade, at least that much. It would have filled, guys. That's my stop was just there. Super annoying. So as we can look on that day, man, that's not what I'm looking for. I took 2 trades, and that second one I lost $100 on, down 230, and my valuation for my account at that point was right around $500 from blowing. From blowing it. Okay, so that was our Monday trades. Then if we look at the 25th, I think that, yeah, that's fair. 26th. Okay, so what did I do, guys? I had a long think about it because I did not trade on Monday at all. And I started realizing that if I can save this account, I need to scale way down. And I need to do it very incrementally because I have proven that I do have the ability to be profitable. But the issue I'm at currently is that I don't have the bankroll to keep taking these higher trades and risking so much. That's just the reality of it. Basically, I was at the point of 1 or 2 more bad days and we're done. The account's gone. Potentially just one because I know myself. And when I get that close to it blowing up, I would probably just throw in the towel and do a Hail Mary, which never works for me. So I scale back. So let's go to the micro markets. And this is where I'm at currently, guys. I'm doing micros. So if we come back, and I went from 1 mini to now I'm trading 2 micros. So I scaled way back. And I've changed my method of trading just a little bit because I'm risking so little money on a loss now. Basically, my stop at this point is a $25 loss. So because of that, I have opened up my profit target. So if we look at, I think I should be able to pull up. Let's go ahead and grab my trade performance. should be able to see what day this is. We're looking for, I thought I took a trade. We'll have to look here. Thought I took my first trades that night, but it might be during the day. Yeah, I didn't take it at night. Let's see. Double check.
I guess I like it too. Hey, he's gonna live in this bag.
So this is the 25th here. Okay. That makes sense. We're going to zoom forward a bit because I thought I took some trades the afternoon of the 25th, which would be accounted for as, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did, now that I'm thinking about it. So what day, what time did I take those trades?
Yeah, well, I have this bag. That bag was
Okay, so we're finally into the trading day of the 26th.
No, I was looking for.
And I took some trades in here. I know I did.
Something to recommend.
Okay, I don't know what time I took those trades. Oh, apparently I took them at midnight. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about these trades. So I took two trades. So we had this kind of a range going on. We had a breakout of the range, then we had a pullback towards the red line. So I really liked what I saw here. I was looking for a break of the red line, and we're going for a break. Or what I do is I set my target to equal to the bottom of the previous break. It took me in. I put my stop up above here. This was actually a little bit higher than my stops normally would go, but I was looking for it to come down and at least tie this bottom. As you can see, that's what I had it, and it came down and hit my target. Now, one of the things I'm doing for these trades is because I have a real hard time watching the trades go to target. I don't know what it is, but it's confidence is what it is. It's just, I know that these work. I do. I know they work because I've seen this pattern play out literally thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And so the more you watch it, the more you recognize that this is something that is going to happen. So I got into this. I knew it was going to come down and break this in based on what I've seen in the past, and it did, right? So then I watched, and I'm looking for another point to be able to enter again. Now here, what I did is I had a pullback. I liked this pullback, and I was looking for it to come down and break again. The reason I liked this pullback is we had a big push like this. When I have a big push, it's like 3 candles or big candles like this. I am okay with taking a trade that doesn't actually hit the line. In fact, I could have taken this one because it followed that. The reason I didn't is because it was so close to this one I had just taken. So I kind of reset mentally a little bit, and I looked for it to come back down. Look at this, guys. Now, what I did here was I mitigated my risk because I was looking at this move here, and I just didn't I didn't like the risk to reward from here to here. And I like to keep my stop above the break here. So I put my bar here that I have. Let's see if I can grab it. So I think this one's actually off. See if I can find the other one. I have a risk. There it is. So I was trying to get closer to this kind of a risk. This is where my risk, that my comfortable risk is. And so I modified it a little bit. I allowed myself a little more leeway, but you can see I actually probably like could have just gone to there. It would have taken me in. Anyway, what I do then is I set my stop, my entry above, and when it comes down and breaks below, I drop my entry in where I'm comfortable entering the trade at and assuming the risk to the reward. And then if it comes in and takes me in, great. If it doesn't, then I just miss that trade, but I'm okay with that because the reward isn't worth it if I have to risk that much. So that's how I look at it. But at any rate, it took me in and it hit again. And so for that night, starting out, this is my valuation for the night right here, guys. I made 95 bucks. Now, if this had been with minis, it's one of those things you can look at. If this had been with minis and I let them do those trades, that's going to be 5 times that amount right there. So like 475. That's how much that would have been for the night had I been trading with minis. But once again, I don't feel comfortable letting it go to target with minis. It's just not in my comfort zone. So that's the difference, right? You start to wonder when should I, what, what is the good sizing to be using when you're trading? And if you are more comfortable with smaller amounts, then that should be what you're doing. And and especially for me when the account is so close to blowing up, that's where I'm at. I mean, I have to size down. So anyway, we did a total of 2 trades, and you can see this one went for a full target. This one went almost to half target. So my full target is $50. Although I can move it and get more about valuation out of it. But at any rate, so it was good. That was my first night, and then I felt a little better about how things were going. That's 95 back. Let's see. So if we I'm gonna bring up my trade journal. Bear with me a second, guys. So let's look at this. So here's my trade journal. You can see how last week went. So then I had another red day here. And then here's my comeback. I got a green day. And so you can see what a rough patch I had, guys. This day in particular was just super sketchy. So that's too bad. That's the one where I really fell off the wagon. I went from $300 up on my account to minus $300 in a single day. That's a terrible swing. All right, so then as you can see, I bounced back a little bit, and then man, I just hit it hard again with just a loss. And at this point, I was like, man, I am just obviously not seeing the market well. I've got 4 to 2. That's where I was at, and so I had to change it. So this is the valuation of my account after we're at 24,635. Now, keep in mind, as we can look up here at the top, we can see the highest valuation of my account so far has been 25,585. That means that my trailing drawdown has brought me up to like $24,085. Okay. So we got to keep that in mind when we look at this. That means that I'm still about $550 away from blowing my account on Tuesday. So I didn't trade again Tuesday. We'll go back to the charts here. I didn't trade again on Tuesday because I took that trade Tuesday morning at 12 in the morning, 12 a.m. So let's go and we'll look at Wednesday. So I can't remember if I took them Wednesday night or Wednesday during the day, but let's take a look. Here's we're in Wednesday now. Probably should focus in on it because I might have already taken it. Probably not. Let's see. We're in Wednesday. Not seeing any trades yet. Okay, I didn't take them Wednesday night. It doesn't look like. Did I miss it? Did I? All right. All right. So it looks like I traded Wednesday during the day. Let's take a look. There it is. Okay. So it looks like we're coming in at 10 a.m. here, and this is Western time. Western Pacific. Okay, so here we have a high here, right? And we have a pullback. So this is what I liked. I liked this big high and a pullback. We came into this range here, bounced up, and to me, I thought we were reaching for the red line here. So I entered at the break of this, put my stop up above. I think I put it up above this line here. And I put my target at the bottom of this line. So I was looking for a break of this. But like I said, I like to hedge my bets a little bit and make it equal to it. That way, if it comes down and just does a double bottom for whatever reason, I know it's stupid, but to me, that's like just kind of edging the winds back in my favor a little more. But at any rate, you can see I could have put it on the red line and it would have filled because it just dropped like a rock. Hit my target. Then I watched it, and to me, at this point, I'm looking for a trade back up the other direction. But the problem is, I think what I did here was I expected it to go back down and retest the red line. Yep, that's what I did. But I would expect this to continue going up, honestly. Look at that. It went back down. So here, because of this big push, it came up. I was looking at this. I'm looking for another push because we have a break below here. And I was looking for it to come back and retest the red line. And I don't know what I got out of this, but I felt nervous about it because this wasn't my favorite trade. And so I think I took my entry back out early on it. Let's look at how we did for this day. So if we look at, this will be the 27th. And here we can see 2 trades. Yeah, my second trade was only for 28 bucks. Like I said, I wasn't super confident in it, and it would have worked fine, but I wasn't super confident in it. I probably shouldn't have taken that trade, honestly, that second trade. This one is even a little sketchy because I don't like trading shorts above the red line, but at any rate, they both worked out, and sometimes that just is the way it goes. And I was really feeling the market right now, like I had a sense of what it was trying to do, and sometimes that's the best way to move forward. So at any rate, for this day, we're going to bring back up my trade journal. We can see I'm trying not to expose too much. Boop. There we go. Made $70.50 on this day, so we brought our valuation up to $24,701. And you can see that reflects what it was after our big blowout day. So to me, I was like, okay, I'm making back ground here. I'm not back to here yet, but I'm making up ground. All right, so let's look at, that was Wednesday, so let's look at tomorrow, or yesterday. bring that back up. Let's look at yesterday. So that was our Wednesday, and let's look at Thursday. Oh, I didn't show you both the trades. What day is this? Oh no, okay. That makes me feel better. I didn't take another trade there. Okay, okay. Great. I'm glad I didn't take that trade. That's a ghost trade, guys. Let's look at my second trade here. That looked like a sketchy place to take a trade to me. All right, so now I'm waiting and I see it come back up. So we have new low created. It's coming up. Look, it's running into 2 points of resistance here. So I'm looking for it to reject off of that, but I'm waiting for a reaction. Got it slowing down. And when it entered here, I was looking for it to at least get back to this line. That's all I was looking for, which is why my exit is the where it is. So I liked this candle. So this is a really good trade too. I've got the red line coming through here. I liked that candle. See where the red line is. I did break above it, but I really liked how small and short this was. My risk was super small, right? And my reward was this line. So I was happy with that entry, and it went down, hit my target right away. So that was a good trade. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's go into zoom forward here. So that was Wednesday, which means this is Thursday evening. Well, it's Wednesday evening, which would account for a Thursday. But I don't think I took a trade during the night on Thursday. Pretty sure I took a trade in the daytime. So I must admit, at this point, Thursday, wake up, and I'm feeling a little apprehensive because things have been going well. And sometimes I feel like there's just about to something's going to happen. So I did not trade Thursday night or Wednesday night or Thursday early morning. I traded during the day on Thursday. And I, like I said, was apprehensive before I even got into the markets. But what I found is a lot of times you can feel that way before you get into the markets. You feel like a little bit of like things are out of your control. Okay. But then I got into the markets, and what I find when I get into the markets is I get a more of a sense of calm. All right, so here we've got a pull down. This is my first trade. And this is after watching the markets. This, I must say, was a little bit of me just going, I got to get a trade in here somewhere. So that's kind of not a great place to start for a trade. And this could be foreshadowing. But anyway, I had a new high and we're pulling down towards the red line. Now, it didn't quite hit the red line, but I loved this candle. To me, this to me is showing that it ran into a bunch of resistance here, which to me looks like it's got further to go. So I'm looking to take a break of that. And I did. I took a break and it came up here. My target was like here for the $25 or for the $50 mark. This one I actually watched. And it came up close and I saw it bouncing around and I grabbed my target and dropped it down into it. I just the one reason is I wasn't super confident in this trade. And why? Why was I not super confident in this trade? Because it didn't actually get to support. It got above support. I liked this candle. That was the reason I took the trade. It gave me the push I wanted. It didn't quite get to my target, and I wasn't going to wait. I didn't have the confidence that this was going to break it and give me a new high, which is what you would expect from this support level. But let's see what happens. Went a little bit higher, and look, then it failed, guys. So I'm glad I got out of this one when I did. That's just a ghost trade there. It I maybe would have, I think it would have just been short. I think my target was actually just above that line. And you can see like it just goes back down. And I can't remember where, I think my stop was here. Now here where it finally does hit the red line. Oh, there it goes. There's where it actually hits. This one is still, that still goes to the red line. Look at that. It would have failed, guys. So I'm glad I got out of that one when I did. Sometimes intuition is good to listen to. If you don't have confidence that your setup was the way you wanted it to be, which is the way this was for me. So now, here, when it did this, I'm like, okay, I'm looking for this thing to go up. But what did it do? It broke right through. And then it went up. And then watch what it does, guys. So you get this breakthrough. And this is the point where it's going back up. You'd expect it to break the high here. Get your pull back down into major deep resistance zone, then pull back up. You're going to break your high, likely. So let's watch what happens. And there it goes. Breaks the high. So that's what I thought was going to happen. But once again, that didn't meet my criteria. Had this red line been here, I would have gotten in on this trade. Now, I don't think I would have gone for this target. I'm just not that confident yet. I maybe could have gone to this target and been comfortable. I likely would have gone for like this target. That's probably where I would have gone. But at any rate, it broke down below, so that doesn't make me super happy. But what I did like, now this is one of the things I've just been learning lately, is when you see a resistance or support layer and you're looking for whether or not it respects that layer, it can bounce, it can go through the layer, but if it has an immediate reaction against it, that means it's respecting the layer. Had this thing come down and stayed down here for several bars, that means that it is ignoring this layer and will continue down. Since it came down and had this immediate reaction, so big push down, two candles, push back up, this thing's going to go back. That's respecting it. And so now I'm waiting, looking for another trade. That first trade was like 30 bucks or something. I can't remember. Okay, so here we had a big push, broke the high, pulled back down. I got in here with my target. I put my entry in below this, like we were talking about before. I wanted enough room here to get profit compared to my stop loss, which would be here, to make it an equitable trade. And this one failed. So I hit my stop here. But because of this trade, my stop, like I said, this was like a $33 trade. So this was a $25 stop. And that made me up $8. So I'm still up, but I'm waiting, and I want to get one more green trade in for the day. So I'm waiting here. I get a pull back to the red line. So I like this, and I'm thinking maybe I can get in a drive here going up. And I took an entry there, and it went to target. So that's a $50 trade. And I think let's see. I don't know if it would have gone all the way. Let's see. But it doesn't matter. It hit my target. I was happy. I didn't move my target on this one. I just left my target wherever it was, which is why I got that move. So that's good. That is 11 o'clock. This is a nice trade. Really like this trade. New high, come down, respecting the red line. To me, it respected it here. So I expected it to respect it here. Got in here, had my stop loss here, went for there. So that's at least 2 to 1 on my stop loss. Actually, I think my stop loss was here. So good. That was a good trade. And Let's look at my trade performance. And we will 28th. And we can see, here we go, guys. So I did a 31, yeah, $31. And this one, actually just short, so that's like $23. So 31, 23, and then another 50. We had $58 for the day. So let's look at that. Oh. There we are, guys. So there's Thursday. All right, now that brings us to today. So I racked up 3 straight days. We're still sitting a little bit below where we were on Friday. So we've almost gotten rid of our terrible red day on Monday at this point. All right, so let's look at today. How did we do today, guys? Okay. Let's go ahead and pull up the charts again. We can go over the trades we took today. We took 2 trades today. Again, we took them this morning. I just took them just a little while ago, actually. So let's go ahead and jump to our market. We can look at it. This is still last night. Let's zoom up. Okay, we're getting close. It was like 9 o'clock. All right, here we go. So here's our market. Let's zoom in a little bit. So we got a kind of a ranging market going on here when I get in this morning. See how we hit this location right in here several times and rejected off it. So I kind of expect it to do that again. But here, this is the difference, see? And let's look at the difference. And this is important to recognize, right? Look at these different trades. Came up here, rejected, rejected, rejected. Came up, rejected. See, these are automatic rejections, right? Rejected. Now let's look at this last entry. What do we see that's different, guys? Comes deep into it. And what does it do? It's not really rejecting there, right? It's hemming and hawing. So is that acceptance? Looks like we finally got a rejection there. Back up into the zone, rejection again. So we get this kind of a, this was almost at the point. Had this whole area been up above the zone, that would have made me feel better about it, accepting a movement over. This was just, it's struggling to get through, but it didn't make it. All right, so now here, well, I'm not entering at this point because I'm waiting for things to happen. I almost entered here, so let's zoom in on this. Because it made a new high here, and it came down and it is taking support off the red line here, I almost entered here, but I was waiting for it because my stop loss, I was looking at, I think it was like there or something would be my stop loss. And so I was needing it to break here and then come down and take me in. And I looked away from the screen for a second and I looked back and this candle had printed just like this. It went way high and way low. And I said, well, okay, I'm okay with missing that because had it taken me in, it might have gone my way and hit my target, which would have been like right here or something. Like that's way over the 50 ticks that I'm going for. But so I actually could have taken the break of this and it probably would have filled, but it also might have just gone this way. I honestly didn't even see this thing print, so I don't know. Yeah, it was very erratic and went up and down really quick, but at any rate. So what I was looking at this point, because of the red line, I see this as a good support to probably get back to the top of the range. And so I looked for an entry point. We came down here. I was looking for support here. Um, Once again, I brought in my entry from below because this right here was my stop loss was like that. And so I brought it in here and I just looked for a break of this. I was being super conservative. You can see I could have done a break of this one. That would have been like 70 bucks. But I just did a break of this one. So it was only like, I think like 30 bucks. Then it kept going up and that's no good. All right. So then we have this back here and we have it coming down. Now, there was no entry here, coming back down, looking like we're heading towards the red line, and I'm really liking this. And then it hesitates, doesn't get there, finally gets to the red line. So now I'm looking at this for an entry. What does it do? When I saw this candle print, I don't like this at all. This one I really don't like. And so I was like, no, I'm not taking an entry there. I don't like this. I don't like this. Specifically, okay, so let's talk about this. Came down. We have this red. We have this strong red candle here, right? I don't like that at all. I like to see a nice big wick here, some resistance off this line. So I was looking for a trade off the red line here because we're new high coming down. I didn't like that. To be honest, I didn't like that this actually kind of just tapped the previous high. It's not a great entry for me. So I see a weakening of the market here. And then here I was looking at this going, well, if it breaks this, I could see this thing continuing down. But I really liked how the momentum that it had here. So I was looking for a trade off of this red line to continue down. Now, I must admit this was a little bit of a stretch for me, but I've seen this happen so many times where you come up, you come down below your support, and you come up and hit it and it'll give you some resistance. So that's what I was looking for here. And I had because my target, like I said, let's see, that's where my stop would be. So I brought in my sell from above so I could minimize my risk, put it there, put my target at this tail, and it came down and hit my target. And that's it. I was good for the day. Now, had I kept watching, that's not a trade. I would have probably waited for it to come back up into the gold line here and look for another sell. Looks like it's into the red. We'd be looking for a sell off this. Let's see what happens. We'd be looking for it to break here. So let's see if that happens. We're still waiting. That would have been a long trade, guys. Still waiting. There it goes. It finally broke there. So this would have been another good trade. I don't know if I would have had the patience to wait that trade out. But you can see, and I could have gotten in really good on this one too, probably. Like I would have tried to get in like here. And it would have stayed in my favor the entire time, all the way down to target here. But I didn't take that trade. But it doesn't matter. So we're good for the day. Let's look at what our totals were for today. Let's bring them up. And that's going to finish our day, our week. Today is the 29th. It's my daughter's birthday today. Let's generate. This is it. So I hit my target here of 50 plus 33 in my first trade. Total of 88. I do math. Math is hard. 83. For the day, here, And trade journal here. Let's go and look at it. There we are. 83 for the day. What does that do for me, guys? I am above where I was yesterday. So for this week, I've officially made $50. That's good. I'm working my way back. The important thing here is to recognize, right? Let's think about where I would be if I was only trading this way instead of the previous way, right? Where would I be? I think I'd be in a lot better position. If you look at this day, which is my blowout day, and you keep in mind if that was 2 micros instead of a mini that I was trading on those days, I would be down, instead of 550, I'd be down a fifth of that. So that would have been a $110 loss day. That's the max loss day. And as you can see, my green days are hovering right around, looks like about $75. So this would have been a day that I lost my mind and just took a bunch of losing trades, right? Way more than I should have, because this is way beyond my max loss. And I would have only been down $110 from that. So that kind of puts things in perspective right here. These days would be wiped out by just about any one of these days, right? These right here are equivalent to a $50 day. And these are really good green days for me with the minis. So keep that in mind too, right? With my minis, this is a really good day, which would be equivalent to $50. You can see how much higher, how much better I perform, how many more ticks I get out of a day using micros because I allow it to go to my target. And the important thing about that is that my targets represent a better risk to reward ratio than these entry points that I'm allowing. Now this one was a 1 to 2 risk reward that I hit target, but it didn't hit target because I let it hit target. It hit target because it had so much momentum, it just went right to target. And because I was already up 250 for the day, I didn't take any more trades. So that's another thing. Here, when I'm up $50 for the day, I still feel comfortable taking another trade. It's not like I'm up plenty of money for the day and I can just relax. I'm just like, I can take another trade. So we're working our way back up. We are 168 bucks away from break even again, which would be this day after this $300 loss. We've come back from this day and this day, so these have been erased. We are inching back up to this day. So it's $100 off erasing that day. And then we'll only have this day to erase to get back to where we were before these days. So I guess, no, I haven't erased this day or this day. Yeah, if I can get back to here, we'll be where we were. We will have erased this day right here. Yeah. Yeah? No. I need to get back to here to erase this day. Anyway. So we're still hanging in there, guys. That's the important thing. We're going to keep trading and keep trying to be consistent. I know I have the ability to do it. I don't know. I was going to show you guys my previous. I don't think I have it anymore. I think I erased it. That's stupid of me. I should have kept it so we can look at it. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. And I think I'm going to start doing weekly recaps like this. Potentially. I think it works fine because I can still remember all my trades and why I took them. Uh, so we may do that. But this is an okay week. We're up $50 for the week. I am happy with that considering where we've been. Last week was just rough. It's just a